Any impartial observer would agree that routine and systematic violations of human rights were both causes and consequences of the conflict in Ireland. For decades, we in the 6 counties were subjected to discrimination and other abuses by the state. We were actively denied the right to speak our own language, Níl mé able to caint scéalga agus tá mé ag fólam, and other expressions of our culture and identity were outlawed. There was no equal right to housing, to education or to work, and there was interference in the right to democratic representation. The right to peaceful assembly was suppressed with force. There was mass internment without charge or trial, and other abuses of emergency powers. Without doubt, the state failed to protect the population from sectarian attacks, harassment and intimidation. Indeed, the state actively colluded in the unlawful killing of its citizens. Therefore, in order to fully emerge from the era of conflict and into a real peaceful future, our society needs the kind of human rights and equality guarantees that takes in all of the legacy of the conflict into account. Whilst the European Convention on Human Rights has been helpful, without doubt, it's ultimately not enough because it's so universal, it's also too generic. It must be supplemented by additional protections that reflect and respond to our particular circumstances in the north of Ireland. All members of our society, but particularly the most vulnerable and the most marginalised from across the traditions, need these additional guarantees, and they will stand to benefit from them without doubt. That is why at grassroots level you will find a cross-community support for a Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights can and must be something that brings us together in common interest and with common purpose. A robust Bill of Rights containing permanent legal safeguards is needed to act as insurance against a repeat of past wrongs, to halt the wrongs of the present and to prevent new wrongs in the future. Such a bill will provide all citizens with a practical tool that they can use to hold public authorities to account for their actions or inactions, to challenge and ultimately to end injustice and inequality. This is not just a Sinn Féin demand. It was a solemn commitment entered into by parties in the Good Friday Agreement and St Andrew's Review. So the British and Irish government must now recognise that by failing to honour their 15-year-old obligation to deliver a Bill of Rights, they are feeding societal tensions and damaging the process of peace. A peace which the majority of people both desire and deserve. As MEP for the North, I intend to raise support for a Bill of Rights in the European Parliament.